In other words, there are situations in which reasoning and logic cannot be used, and if the only way that we relate to each other is through fights with words and insults, our work to process these issues is going to have to be much more intense. I showed you how in the pituitary gland and the pineal gland, and how during intimacy, the orgasm, when it is not only physical, but one reaches a mental and spiritual orgasm, then both participants in the act recharge each other. The brain memorizes the experience, and the affinity that the individuals develop in the physical plane is completely different. I showed you a picture of a child that when he acquires trust, he is going to float in the water very easily. After 4 or 5 classes, he is going to be able to float because the trust is being transmitted to him. When a woman discovers her masculinity and the man discovers his femininity, she or he is able to resolve the problems much faster. This does not mean that problems are going to stop showing up. They are going to continue showing up, but we are not going to take a long time resolving them. With respect to the mystical, emotional aspect, it is very important to understand that if we were educated with the belief that in order to be close to the divinity, we have to provoke pain, we have to suffer, we have to hide the body, or that if we had to dress in black, this signifies that we carry with us the crucified Christ from the Catholic tradition. Not only should we eliminate the use of crucifixes physically, but also the way that we behave. I still have seen places where they contract so-called weepers or mourners so they can provoke in funerals a tremendous emotional frequency so everyone else also cries. When the process of evolution is not known, we are preventing the soul from occupying its place in the astral plane. Because with all this crying and all of this grieving, we are stopping the soul from detaching from the body. Obviously, we cry, we suffer, and we hurt because we ignore what is going to happen after death. But if the individual continues grieving for a whole year and then he does not oxygenate himself, does not go outdoors, or if he does not eliminate these dysfunctional states, the individual then is going to experience very severe physical problems. It is very difficult for cancer to manifest itself in the physical body without being present in the individual's feelings of resentment, feelings of hate, or feelings of dissatisfaction. Because of these dysfunctional patterns, in addition to the physical detoxification, it is also necessary to go through an emotional and mental detoxification. If we're able to experience the sexual magic with our mate, we are going to save a great amount of time. In addition, we shall be able to see that the manifestation of everything we do, we shall be able to do it with greater efficiency. Raise your hand, those who did not attend yesterday's conference. I repeat, for those who did not attend yesterday's conference, in the practice of sexual magic, the man should become a god for his wife, and the woman should become a goddess for her husband. But this is only for him and for her, because if the wife is accustomed to tell everything to the neighbor, then when the neighbor finds out that she has a god at home, then the neighbor is going to request a blessing from the husband. Therefore, the practice of sexual magic should be fulfilling for one partner as well as for the other. One with respect to the fact that a total surrenderness should take place without thinking that sexuality is a sin. If at the present time we were to apply the religious laws that were applied 60 years ago, the majority of the women that come to this place dressed like this would be committing sacrilege, since this was not allowed 60 years ago. The point of view of what is sin then is changing. If the modern woman is told that she is committing sin, she is going to laugh and she is going to say that if I am sinning, I can then go to greet the devil hand to hand. She is no longer going to be afraid. Therefore, it is very important that spiritual terrorism is not used to generate conflict within the individual, and also that the individual works through these dysfunctional patterns.